Assalamualaikum and a very good morning I wish to all of pupils. This week, on week 32, we will continue our topic on properties of materials, subtopic ability to conduct electricity and ability to allow light to pass through. Learning objectives. At the end of the lesson, pupils are able to number 1. Describe the properties of materials by carrying out activities, and number 2. Explain the observations on the properties of materials through written or verbal forms, sketches, or ICT in a creative way.
It's late in the evening and Eddie and Michael enter their bedroom. The room is dark since the light bulbs in the room are all switched off. Eddie presses the light switch. The light bulbs in the room light up. He presses the switch off and the light bulbs do not light up. Eddie then asks Michael to explain why this happens. Michael explains that when the light switch is pressed, the current flows in the wire and lights up the bulbs. When the switch is off, no current flows in the wire. The light bulbs do not light up. Eddie is still confused. The next day, Eddie goes to the school lab. Eddie asks his science teacher to explain electrical conductors and insulators. The teacher prepares a simple electric circuit for this explanation to Eddie. The circuit consists of a dry cell, a bulb, electrical wires, an iron nail, and 2 crocodile clips. When both clips are connected to the iron nail, the bulb lights up. The teacher explains that the iron nail is an electrical conductor that allows an electric current to flow through it when it is connected across the 2 ends of the crocodile clips. This is similar to the switch being pressed and the bulbs lighting up in the room. All metals are conductors of electricity. Examples of metals that conduct electricity are copper, silver, and aluminium. When a plastic ruler is connected across the crocodile clips, the bulb does not light up. This shows that the plastic ruler is an electrical insulator and does not allow electricity to pass through it. Other examples of electrical insulators include rubber, wood, glass, leather, and cotton.
Properties of materials in electrical conductors and insulators. Materials have different properties, as we know. They differ in their ability to conduct electricity. Some materials allow electricity to flow through them. These materials are called electrical conductors. Some materials do not allow electricity to flow through them. These materials are called electrical insulators. Examples of electrical conductors are copper wire and metal. For electrical insulators, example is rubber. Okay, we go to conductors of electricity. All metals are electrical conductors, such as copper, silver, iron, and aluminium are metals. They conduct electricity. Copper, silver, iron, aluminium. These are metals that conduct electricity. Uses of electrical conductors. To make electrical wires. Number 2, to make parts of gadgets or devices that can conduct electricity. Conductor in wire. The materials are copper. Allow electrical current to flow. For another properties of materials, insulators of electricity, most non-metals are electrical insulators. Wood, rubber, plastic, leather, and cloth are non-metals. They cannot conduct electricity. Wood, rubber, plastic, and leather cannot conduct electricity. Uses of electrical insulators. Number 1, to insulate wires and electrical gadgets. Number 2, to make parts of gadgets or devices that prevent electricity from coming into contact with users. Insulator that made from plastic does not allow electric current to flow. Plastic in 3-pin plug.
Jeff and his friends are watching television in his room. Since it is a hot and sunny day, Jeff has switched on the air conditioner. The bright sunlight streaming in from the closed glass window is causing a glare on the television screen. Jeff draws the nylon curtain across the window to block out some of the sunlight and thus reduce the glare. Did you notice that there are 3 different types of materials based on the way they allow light to pass through them? Some materials, like the glass of the window pane, allow most of the light to pass through them. They don't form any shadows. These materials are called transparent materials. We can see clearly any object placed behind a transparent material. Other examples of transparent materials include the air surrounding us, the clean water that flows out of our taps, corneas of the eyes, certain plastic materials, and the clear wings of some insects like dragonflies. Other materials like the nylon curtain allow some of the light to pass through them. They form a faint shadow. These materials are called translucent materials. We can see any object placed behind a translucent material, but it appears blurry. Other examples of translucent materials include frosted glass, tracing paper, ice, certain plastic materials, and jellyfish. The third type of material, like the wooden frame of the window in Jeff's room, does not allow any light to pass through. They form dark shadows. These materials are called opaque materials. We cannot see any object placed behind an opaque material. Other examples of opaque materials include stone, metal, rubber, leather, certain plastics, bricks, bone, teeth, and flesh.
For properties of materials like transmission, materials differ in their ability to allow light to pass through them. Some allow most of the light to pass through them. Others allow only some of the light to pass through them. The rest do not allow any light to pass through them. Different materials are used for different purposes. Transparent. Most of the light passes through. Translucent. Some of the light passes through. Opaque. None of the light passes through. For transparent materials, they allow most of the light to pass through. Most of the light can pass through. Transparent materials also do not form any shadows. Allow any object placed behind to be seen clearly. No shadow, and allow any object placed behind it to be seen clearly. Example, food containers, vehicle windows, and spectacles. For translucent materials, they allow some of the light to pass through. Number 2, form faint shadows. Faint shadow. Allow any object placed behind it to be seen as a blurry image. Example, lamp shades, curtains, and bathroom windows. For opaque materials, they do not allow any light to pass through, form dark shadows. Number 3, do not allow any object placed behind it to be seen. Remember, they do not allow any light and form dark shadow. It also do not allow any object placed behind it to be seen. Example, walls and doors. Reflection for today's topic. Number 1, ability of materials to conduct electricity. Remember, ability of materials to conduct electricity have two abilities. One, electrical conductor, and number 2, electrical insulator. Electrical conductor allows electricity to pass through, such as copper, silver, iron, and aluminium. For electrical insulator, remember, they do not allow electricity to pass through. Examples, wood, plastic, rubber, and leather. For ability of materials to allow light to pass through, there are three abilities. Number 1, transparent, translucent, and opaque. Transparent allow most of the light to pass through, such as glass light, spectacles, and pure water. For translucent, allow some of the light to pass through. Examples, tracing paper, curtains, bathroom windows. For opaque, do not allow any light to pass through. For examples, walls, doors, and clothes. That's all for today's pupils. Please try to answer the quiz that are provided. See you again next time. Goodbye.